Welcome everyone to Liberal Agencies Television. I hope this video finds you well in your location across the globe. We all at one time or another find ourselves in a position where you need to buy something, or you need to work with some minimal budget. You need to spend some money to satisfy maybe some needs. And then in most cases, usually you find that the cash that you have is not enough. In most cases, you always have to try and balance and see what you can buy for now and what you can leave, or what you can buy to push you for a longer period before you get another money. And this has been a very big headache to many people. But there are a few things that can usually help you to achieve this problem. There are a few things that if you observe, you can find that the little money you have, you can buy the most important things that can push you to the period that is necessary. And those are the few things that we want us to look and discuss in this video today. And before we commence, I just want to welcome our new viewers who have bumped into this channel for the first time today, to just take a second or two to press the subscription button and also press the notification bell, so that any time we produce a video like this, you'll always be notified automatically by YouTube. Please subscribe. 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there are some very little things that we need to observe, especially when you're working with a very minimal amount. And if you observe very well, you will find that you will be able to get a lot of things right. The first one is to create time, have time before you go for your shopping or before you go to buy something. Create time, make sure that you have enough time so that when you now go to shop, you are not in a hurry. You know, this is a very big mistake that many people do. You find that somebody has just come from work, he's rushing to the maybe bus station or the train, he's about to leave, but at the same time they want to enter a mall to do some shopping. You will not concentrate. You'll just go there and pick a few things very quickly. Even the first things that you come across, you just pick them quickly and leave, because you are working with time. You are late. You know? You find somebody even is cooking in the house, and then he just decides to just go and pick something in the shop there. Even if the supermarket is near, create time. Because the moment you do something like that, you leave some food on the jiko, you rush to go and pick something from the market, you will not get time to get the correct thing that you want. You just remember that, oh, my food is on. And then you pick the very first things that you find and you rush back. Only to realize maybe after 2 days that what you bought maybe is expiring tomorrow. You didn't have time to scrutinize and read into those simple details. And those you can only do when there is time, when you have time. Even when you want to buy some big things like maybe land or a house or a car, all these things you need time. But when you just decide now you want to buy a house today and you start searching everywhere, you'll end up buying some house at a very expensive maybe rate, and then after maybe a week or two you come across another one which is even in a better place at a better price. You have already bought that one. You see, if you take your time, you always will find that the end result is going to be satisfactory. So number one, make sure that before you go for your shopping, there is enough time for you to go and do your shopping. Even when you want to do anything that you want to do, even including if you have plans maybe to buy land, you can start planning even before you get the money. You start talking to maybe people who have already bought land in some places. How are the rates there? You talk to some other people. You compare rates, but you don't have even the money. But you are just planning yourself maybe for future, in case you'll get money. Now already you know the rates everywhere and the places you target and how you can obtain the best rates. You plan ahead and you give yourself enough time. Even if you want to buy maybe a car, even if you want to maybe start some business in the future, you don't have the money now, but you can start doing this small research early enough so that there is time. So in future, maybe if you earn some money and now you want to do something, you already will have had some plans, maybe even if it's business. You already will have had some ideas that you can now settle on and start pursuing, as opposed to just relaxing until now you have money. It's when you realize that now, what do? I need to start some business. You have not even thought about it now. The money is already in hand. You end up maybe now start rushing into things. You've had cases of people who maybe have won some huge amounts. But after some time, again, when they are followed up, we found that they are found in a very, living in some very small areas. Like there's a lady who won 6 million some 6 years ago. When she was now followed up by the media, she's now living in some place in not some very good condition. But only 6 years ago, she won 6 million. These mistakes usually happen when you earn some money, a lot of it once, and there's no plan that you had already put in place. So always, even when you are not having amounts of money and you have some plans, always just have some agenda in store. That if suppose I get money, I can do this. If I get money, I can do this. So that you make use of the time. Well, before I go too much on the time, let me talk about another thing also that we need to always deal with when we want to do some shopping and do a priority shopping that can last you long. Because most of the time we are working with limited funds. When you go to purchase some maybe foodstuffs try to plan yourself maybe to see what can you buy that can last you for the longest time, and you buy it once in bulk. Just buy, if it's not perishable, just buy it once in bulk that can take you to maybe the next time you get another income. So just buy it once. Because when you buy something in bulk, for example, sugar, if you've known that maybe for a month, you usually can use 5 kilos, just buy the 5 kilos at a time, at a go, as opposed to buying quarter kilo, half a kilo, tomorrow again half a kilo. You will end up spending more if you're buying things in bits like that, But when you buy something in bulk once, somehow it's usually discounted. You'll always find that the amount that is charged per 5 kg is cheaper to that will be charged per kg if you multiply by 5. And that's an advantage that you'll have. And also when you buy things in bulk, you'll always find that there are offers that are attached to them. Maybe you find that if you buy a bale of maybe flour, maize flour, you find that they print some, maybe like a cooking fat. They wrap it together, the cooking fat. So you buy a bale, get a 2 kg cooking fat. You see? If you go for a bulk like that, that will last you for maybe a whole period of time, and then you get an offer attached to it, you have already now saved on what you'll have bought the fat with. It's already attached here. Those are the benefits of buying things in large quantities. And you should always walk around and see what in your list. If there's something you want to buy that is attached with something on offer, you can buy the one on offer and then you get what you wanted also inclusive. That's also some tactic that you should use when shopping. And you can only get time to go through all those things when you have time. Another thing, when you want to go for shopping, you need to be in some jovial mood, You should not go for shopping when you are maybe sad, you've just had a quarrel with somebody, you are very low in spirit, and then you rush to the supermarket, You are not feeling well. That anger is still running in your system. Even when you see some small thing, you can even drop things in the supermarket. Or when you ask for somebody to show direction and maybe he's taking time, you just start catching fights with people even in the mall, because the mood that you are having. So your mood also needs to be good. That way you're also going to be concentrated very well. You need to be fit, not maybe when you are sickly. You don't want to be sickly and you go to the supermarket. Just go when you're in the right health, right frame of mind. That way you are going to concentrate more. And you're not going to give up quickly or get say, let me just leave. You're just picking things in a hurry. If you are fit, you will take your time. You see, time is still following you, meaning that time is very important. I mentioned it first. Another thing, make sure that you prepare a proper list of the things that you want to go and get. Don't just enter the mall and start picking things off head. Start picking things off head. you know. That way you can end up buying things that you did not even plan for. And maybe you don't even need them for the time being. The reason why you prepare a list is that you give priority to the most important things at that moment. The most important things that you require. What have you finished in the house today? Maybe you need, see sugar is missing, you add. Then you need some oil, you add. You may need some, maybe sugar, you add. Only the most priority things that you really require at that moment. That is the importance of having a list. It's also going to help you manage your budget. When you prepare a list, you already know that you have maybe this amount of money that you want to spend. So when you prepare a list, you will make sure that you don't go over the budget. So it will give you an easy time when you are now at the shop. And you will not just pick things impulse everywhere. And then when you got at the till, you find that now you've spent so much, you start asking the attendants to reduce some things, or you can just decide now to pay and you've already interfered with your budget now. You know? That is very important. Another thing is try to just go shopping alone. Try to go shopping just by yourself. Don't carry your friends that you are going to do shopping. You know, you have already prepared your list very well, and you go to shop, you accompany yourself with friends, maybe one or two. They will interfere with your list, you know, because they start even suggesting things that you do not even have in mind. Maybe you've just gone to pick maybe some lotion that you had budgeted for. And your friend tells you, oh, you're taking this one. No, I usually use this one. Try this one. This one is usually good. And you find that the one that they are suggesting maybe it costs more. But you may just end up picking what they are suggesting because maybe you don't even want to disappoint them in some cases. Or maybe you don't want to be seen as buying a cheap thing because now you are accompanied. When you are alone, you just pick what is convenient for you and you put in your basket and you proceed. But people will always influence you to make some other decision that you do not have. You know, even if you're in a family, you've already done your list together what you need. Let one person go for it. If it's yourself as the man of the house, you can just go for it alone. Or if you can't go for it, let the lady go for the items alone. If she goes alone, you'll find that she'll try to manage that list very well, the way you had listed things. But if you go together with her, that list, I can assure you, it will be adjusted when you reach the mall. It's going to be adjusted because something will just be seen there, and then they'll just start suggesting, what about buy this one again now. But it's not in the list. No. They'll just persuade you now to buy something that was not in the list. They tend to believe that maybe you can just maybe add some little, push the budget a little bit more. That is if you are together. But if maybe she went alone, she will know that what I have now in my purse is this amount of money. If I mess, I will not achieve the list. You know? So that is the reason why you should go alone. Or let one person go. If you're a man, let your wife go. But if you have to go, the two of you, that is the maximum. The maximum you can go is to don't include the children now again into this shopping trip. Because now you're going to even now quarrel in the mall. You can enter the mall jovial, and then you live in some very low moods if you went together with the children and everybody. At least your wife, maybe if they can just push you a little bit to add a little, something little. But the children now, when you involve them, some of them even don't know that these things are bought with money. They just think that when you enter there, you can only pick everything that you want. But even if they are at a certain age where they know they are bought, some of them will just tend to always assume that you can afford them. You're already denying them. You've just refused. So try to leave them away from your trip when you're going for a shopping trip. If you are working with the minimal amounts, if you know that your budget is not going to, you don't have more money that you can surpass the list, don't look for unnecessary fights. Just take your time, go to your shopping alone, buy your things. You can promise them a few things and then you include in their shopping. But to go together, you are not going to start quarreling in the mall. Because when somebody disappears in a minute like this, he goes to another line. When you meet again like this, they've already picked other things. Now you can imagine now starting telling them to return the things. They start crying in the supermarket, and then you start looking like, now what's happening now? So go alone, or send one of you to go. If you have to go the two more than one, then just go with your maybe wife. And as I conclude now, also the mode of payment that we are going to use, I know most people will disagree with me, but this is something that also usually can assist you. Of course, I know there are other things that you cannot maybe carry cash to when you're going to buy. When maybe things that involve maybe paying large amounts, you may need to use some maybe cashless modes of payment, like maybe writing a check or swiping maybe your card. But it's not very advisable that every little thing you are paying, you swap a card. Every little thing you are paying, you swap a card. Every little thing you are paying, maybe you pay it through maybe mobile money. When you are too used to paying things through cashless modes, mobile money, check, swipe, by the time you realize, you always find that you spend too much. Because when you are swiping, you don't even feel the pain, You just tell him how much they tell you, and then you run a card. Yeah, just like that. You go to another, buy something, swap, run a card. By the time you realize, now you wake up and check, wait, what's happening with my balance? You are just swiping your card carelessly, or writing checks carelessly. Try to pay these things whether to go shopping in cash. Even if people try to avoid carrying cash because maybe they fear they can lose money and everything. But just always carry money for a specific. If you know you're going for shopping and you've already budgeted that you want to spend this much, carry that much of money, go there, do your shopping as per the list. When you now come to the till and everything has now been passed through the system, and you are told, this is your bill, count your money so that you can feel the pain, You can feel the pain when you are spending too much, and you become more careful. How much is the bill? 11,000. 1, 2, 3. If you count the money up to 11,000 and pay that person, you already know what you are left with. It will ring in your mind. Even as you go home carrying your shopping, it will be ringing in your mind that I've already spent 11,000 already, and it's only maybe the first week of the month. The shopping alone has taken this much. It will mean the next time you're going to spend again, you will include the last expenditure, and you become more careful. Because that pain, you are feeling the pain. But if you're just used to maybe, what's the bill? Where's the till number? You send. The bill, run my card. By the time you realize that there's no money left, it's too late. You start now going to debts. But I know most people will not agree with me, because they believe if you carry cash, you can lose cash. Yeah, it's risky, but for specific things, like now you are going to do shopping, and this is something that you do probably once in a month or twice in a month. You just carry cash for that occasion, for that event. Go and pay that money and feel the pain. The next time you want to spend again another amount, you will find it easy to tally the expenditure and now start being careful. Those are a few things that if you observe, you'll be able to manage your funds in very proper manner, and you will not end up in a mess. You find that somebody had maybe a budget of a certain amount of money, that's the earning that they have earned in the whole month. You find that some people, just by the 15th of the month, half of the month, they have already finished all their earnings that they worked for a whole month. It is because of lack of observing some of these things we've mentioned. Impulse. Some people just buy things impulsively. Even when you go to buy some maybe clothing, some people may just buy even some clothes that they will not even wear. When you want to buy a certain cloth, ask yourself, this one I'll wear when I'm on what occasion? When will I wear this one? You ask yourself. And then this one I'm buying because I'll use it on such a occasion. This one I'm buying because I'll use it on such an occasion. But most people just buy clothes, And then when now you reach the house, you don't find a proper occasion that you can use it for. So it's always lying there, just lying in your wardrobe, hanging there, Make sure you ask yourself when you are at the shopping mall, this one I'm buying because of this, and this occasion. You have to be very clear that before you buy things, And even before you take your maybe clothing or shoe home, ask to try it. Not just because this one is a very nice, it's very colorful, This shirt looks very nice, and then you just say, pack that one. Then ask them, where can I try this? So that you can be sure that this shirt is fitting me. So when you go to pay, you know that even tomorrow you can put it on. But in most cases, you find that you buy some clothes that you have to wait to grow. At times you have now grown to a level that you will not grow again now. You have to now bless somebody with that cloth. You did not plan to bless somebody, but now because you've already bought it, what will you do? You just say, let me give so and so. You did not try the cloth from the place you bought it. So these are some very little things that can always ensure that You buy only the things you need, and you carry home only the things you need. Yes, for now, I just want to leave you with that. I wanted to go into maybe things like online shopping, things like buying thing, how you can buy cheap thing and you find it's expensive, cheap is expensive. But I don't want to go for so long. We'll rather do another part to cover now how you can manage your funds to just buy something once instead of buying some cheap thing and then again you have to go back cheap thing again. You have to go back and buy a cheap thing again and you end up now spending more. You know, cheap can be very expensive. So let me just end it there for this first part, and then we are going to do a part 2 where we'll now talk about how you can manage your funds to buy a proper things once, as opposed to rushing to buy something cheap, and then it gets spoiled quickly, and then you have to go back again. That will cover in the next part. For now, I just want to ask our new viewers, please subscribe and give this video a like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God's blessing.